build weapons intended to be taken into harm's way, good enough simply just doesn't mean good to go. From the beginning, this philosophy has driven LWRC to introduce a family of rifles and carbines that perform under conditions that compromise weapons that are merely good enough. America's warfighters have carried the M16 family of weapons from the early days of Vietnam through numerous conflicts over the years and into the current global war on terror being conducted every day in the mountains of Afghanistan and the streets of Iraq. This design is also serving our law enforcement community in an increasing capacity and many of our allied nations abroad. Since their adoption over 40 years ago, this series of direct impingement gas-operated rifles have undergone incremental changes in response to the evolving needs of its users. As users required shorter barrels, the overall system became less reliable and less durable. Recognizing these shortcomings and realizing that serious users require serious tools, LWRC set out to engineer a better solution. Now, after more than 5 years of development and testing, we're delivering rifles and carbines that offer a revolutionary improvement in performance for serious users that can't afford to settle for good enough. At LWRC, our mission is to provide the ultimate tools available to the warfighter, law enforcement officer, and discerning sportsman or competitive shooter that doesn't want to settle for good enough. We accomplish this mission through a combination of cutting-edge design, manufacturing, and materials technologies, coupled with key personnel possessing decades of experience producing firearms or employing them professionally. We can supply complete weapons, drop-on upper receivers, or convert existing direct impingement guns to self-regulating short-stroke piston operation. The heart of an LWRC weapon is the self-regulating short-stroke gas piston operation system. This exclusive LWRC feature provides 3 key benefits that ensure mission-essential performance. LWRC weapons run cleaner than traditional impingement weapons. Legacy direct impingement systems vent hot carbon-laden gases directly into the operating group in order to cycle the weapon. LWRC's piston system contains these tapped gases at the piston and transmits the energy mechanically to the bolt carrier group. After sufficient energy has been transmitted to cycle the weapon, the remaining gases and carbon are vented at the gas block. This prevents the buildup of carbon fouling inside the weapon's receiver and bolt carrier and greatly reduces the intensive cleaning normally associated with direct impingement weapons. LWRC weapons run cooler than the legacy weapon. In addition to fouling the upper receiver with carbon, the propellant gases used to cycle a direct impingement gun subjects vital components and springs within the operating group to radical heating and cooling cycles. These temperature fluctuations as the weapons are continually fired and allowed to cool shorten the service life of vital components like the bolt lugs, extractor, and extractor spring. In an LWRC weapon, the only thing being transferred to the operating group is kinetic energy, so the heat buildup is significantly reduced. By eliminating the additional heat loading of direct impingement, the upper receiver and adjacent structure can more efficiently conduct heat away from the chamber. The net effect of a cooler running weapon is reduced parts breakage, longer service life, and reduced maintenance requirements. LWRC weapons are more reliable than comparable direct impingement systems. The self-regulating feature of our operating system allows for variances in ammunition and ambient conditions, supplying the energy necessary to cycle the action in adverse operating environments. This feature ensures that an LWRC weapon functions reliably under the most adverse conditions confronting today's armed professionals. Cleaner, cooler, and more reliable performance with the same ergonomics as existing direct impingement systems, so there are no modifications required to the user's weapon handling drills. This means no impact to the unit's training other than a reduction in maintenance, freeing up valuable training time for more important purposes. That's why many law enforcement and military professionals worldwide are stepping up to LWRC weapons. The best way to appreciate the shooting characteristics of an LWRC weapon over your current gun is to get out in the range and drop the hammer on one yourself. The accuracy and controllability speak for themselves, all delivered in a more reliable weapon system. yet you still retain all the same familiar operating controls you're used to. But when your mission requires a weapon that's more than just good enough, an LWRC weapon makes sure you're good to go.